Ladies and gentlemen, this next event here on World Championship Wrestling, introducing first from Northport, Florida, Bob Cook. And his partner from parts unknown, the Terminator. Introducing their opponents, making their way into the ring area. They're from Memphis, Tennessee, Ricky Morton and Robert Gibson, the Rock and Roll Express.
Interesting comments from Flying Brian and Seaman. And what an ovation for the Rock and Roll Express.
Why on my inaugural debut back on World Championship Wrestling do we have to look at those two faces?
Well, why don't I get them over here and you can ask them that?
No. Hey, my contract says I'm here and they're over there, and that's as close as they're going to get to me.
Fans still to come in our second hour. The world's strongest man, Doug Furness, holds a world record, 985-pound squat. He's got a 617-pound documented bench press. Former All-American at Northeast Oklahoma A&M. We'll talk about Doug during his match, but he is the world's strongest man coming up in our second hour. And the Terminator, a strong individual himself, Robert Gibson, having trouble getting him off his feet. Better go the quickness route. Oh, he went up off his feet right there.
Jim, did you ever have the feeling that the chemotherapy didn't quite take? That's what I felt like when the Rock and Roll Express came back to the NWA.
Well, I never really thought about that, to be honest about it, but I can see how you could.
I would give these guys, the Terminator and Bob Cook, I would give them everything I got in my bank account if they would just drop both these pumps on their head for me.
Reversal of the Irish whip. Robert Gibson missed the high-risk move. Terminator ducked out of the way. Follows with a big forearm there. Sends him for the ride. Football tackle. Down goes Robert Gibson. Terminator very strong. Compact athlete.
The Rock and Roll Express, besides returning to plague us, have also entered in the United States Tag Team Championship Tournament. There's something else we're going to have to contend with.
Downstairs. Double team move. Ricky Morton sunset flip. 1-2. But it couldn't hold him down there. Ricky quickly back up to his feet. I want to tell you something. I've never seen anybody more grateful for the support of the fans than Ricky Morton and Robert Gibson. They genuinely appreciate the fans receiving them back as they had.
In other words, they're two big suckers is what they are. Two big suckers. They have sat and they have wallowed in obscurity for 2 years ever since we ran them out of here, and they've plotted and planned on a way they could get back at the Midnight Express, and now they finally think that they've done it.
They got him pinned. Oh, Cook rolled off the shoulders. Bob Cook, a heck of an athlete from the state of Florida. And Ricky Morton tags in Robert Gibson. Side headlock by Hoot Gibson.
If Cook would just pin this guy, it would make my year. Look at that.
Double elbow.
Double teaming, Jim.
Well, they got four to get out of the ring.
That's the same stuff they used to pull on us. They break every rule. They cheated every turn.
Oh, corny. You're hallucinating.
You know they do.
You're really worried that they're back here, aren't you? I can see it in your face. Your face is red. You're sweating.
I'm disgusted that they're back, and I'm sweating because I'm sitting next to you. You're all putting off all that body heat.
Front face lock by Ricky Morton. Tagging in Robert Gibson.
I guarantee you this. They're never going to see those U.S. Tag Team title belts around their waist. We dominated those belts for a long time. We're not about to let the Rock and Roll get them. That's for dadgum sure.
Fans will be updating you on the U.S. Tag Team title tournament next week here at World Championship Wrestling. Side headlock by Ricky Morton. Great second hour coming your way. Buzz Sawyer, Dragon Master, will be with us. As I said, the world's strongest man is here. Woman will be appearing in Jim Cornette's Louisville Slugger. Kevin Sullivan's here. And the Horsemen in tag team action. Sting and Arn Anderson versus the Mod Squad.
I'll tell you what the people can look forward to tomorrow on the NWA main event. Wait till after NBA basketball. It'll be on. You're going to see Arn Anderson put the World TV title on the line against beautiful Bobby. And that is going to be a heck of a match. I'm going to be right there to make sure.
Big knee lift right there. Jim Cornette will be at ringside right after NBA basketball this Sunday night here on TBS.
You can call that a veiled threat if you wish. Beautiful Bobby's going to take Arn Anderson.
Well, I'm certainly looking forward to it tomorrow. Right after the basketball game. Yeah, oh, double elevation. Cook up in the lights on that move.
Double, double. Everything they do is double. They're cheating. They're breaking every rule in the book. People are cheering. They're chanting rock and roll, rock and roll. Bringing signs and posters all over the country. It makes me sick to my stomach to hear rock and roll, rock and roll. You'd think these people would have a little more compassion for me.
Well, like me, it doesn't look like it's affected your appetite. Oh, that make you that sick.
Jim, don't get started. I can speak of people with big followings. You've got one, too.
I know what you mean. Bob Cook there, working on the arm of Ricky Morton. Fans, if this Friday down at Power Hour, I'm looking forward to being joined by Jim, not by Jim Cornette, because he's going to be here every Saturday.
Yes.
But Gordon Soley will be my new co-host on Friday nights. The Dean will be with us starting this Friday night. Ricky Morton fighting back up, man. He's got a fighting heart. Big, big fighting heart. Downstairs. Really nailed the Terminator there. Atomic drop.
Ricky Morton ought to join up with Lee Scott. They're both too stupid to know when they're beat.
Line tag there. Gibson legal. Terminator didn't see the tag, but it was legal. Pee Wee Anderson. One of those famous residents ever to come out of Rome, Georgia.
One of the most, how about the only famous resident of Rome, Georgia.
Drop kick by Robert Gibson right to the kisser. That was as perfect as you'll ever see.
Why don't you ever say anything about referee Tommy Young, the Felix Unger of professional wrestling? He just had surgery.
And he'll be back with us in the next few weeks. I know he's watching. We will wish him a speedy recovery.
He was injured right here at center stage in a match between Tommy Rich and Mike Rotunda. Had surgery on his spinal column, for heaven's sake.
Nice move by Robert Gibson, double drop kick. The lights of Bob Cook have been dimmed for the 3 count.
The winners of the event, the Rock and Roll Express.
The 4 times former World Tag Team Champions. Recognize this, Corny?
Yeah, here's something I look forward to like elective surgery. The double drop kick. Rock and roll, you still got to contend with the Midnight Express.
And now let's hear from Cactus Jack.